I'm Bozoma Saint John, and I'm a badass marketer. But this is not my induction. This is our induction. When I first heard that I was going to be inducted into the Marketing Hall of Fame, I took a deep breath, thought about all of the time, the journey that it's taken to get here. You know, they say that the days are long, but the years are short. And that's what it feels like. I can't believe so much time has passed. But it doesn't feel like that much time. It feels like there's so much left to go. And then at the same time, I thought, I'm being honored, but there are so many people who have been on this journey with me. I didn't get here by myself. You know, there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So I feel like I'm here with everybody else. All the people who helped me along this journey. So this is really for them. It kind of feels appropriate to start with my father's mother, who I am named after. Bozoma was her name. She was the wife of a chief, and it seems appropriate that I've become a chief myself. You know, she was a young woman in Nzema in Ghana, with the probability and the statistics that her name would ever be known are so small that they'd ever make it into anybody's hall of anything is so small. And the fact that she birthed a man who would become my father, but that she would never see him as an adult, makes this even sweeter to have her name said in these spaces. I'm so thankful to her and to her legacy. And I'm thankful, of course, to my father, who was persistent in his pursuit of greatness, his own excellence. Or that he would meet my mother and that they would raise 4 girls. He gave us a home that was filled with joy and laughter. And my sisters, Ilua, Ahoba, Abba, were my companions. I'm the eldest of them, and there's only 6 years between myself and the youngest. And so I credit them with perhaps some of my earliest understandings of leadership. I decided to move to New York City without any money, which is so stupid. But gosh, I guess, you know, to be young and dumb is the right thing. I dog walked, I chronicled the National Geographics, I answered phones, I did anything, whatever it took. I'd stand outside at the payphone, because there were no cell phones at the time, and call the temp agency at 8 o'clock every morning. And there was a little corner store on the corner of 125th Street and Broadway, Floridita. It was a little Cuban spot. And the older woman who was standing behind the counter would give me a roll every day. She knew I was hungry. You know, my pride wouldn't allow me to accept it the first time she tried to give it to me. And in her broken English, she would always ask me, you know, like, what are you doing? And the payphone was right outside the door. So I would point at the payphone, have my little, you know, few quarters I had in my hand, and I'd go out there, I'd make my phone call. If the temp job had something for me, I'd go do it. If they didn't, I would come back in there and she'll say, tomorrow, you know, and it'd give me some courage. I waited, called the temp agency, and they told me that Spike Lee had an opening at his office. Whew, so excited. Told her I was going, this was my big break, and she was like, today's the day. You know, I wish I knew where she was, because she gave me encouragement that time too. But it was my break, that was it. I walked into 437 Madison Avenue, and it changed my life. I really didn't know what I was walking into, but I met people that are lifelong friends. It was the first time that I worked with Beyonce, and we cast her as Carmen in a commercial for PepsiCo. It was incredible. It's what gave me confidence in knowing that something that I could spot could become a movement. But there were others like Desmond Hall at the agency who told me that I could change the world if only I put my mind to it. I didn't know what he was talking about then. I still don't know what he's talking about, but sounds pretty damn good. My experiences at SpikeDDB were not just professional, they were also personal. It's where I met Peter, who would become my husband. You know, someone who would change the course of my life forever. both in the most wonderful ways and also the most tragic. He was the one who kept my resume, who updated it. I didn't know how to do that. He was the one that made it look shiny. And so when he died in 2013, I didn't know how to put one together. I prayed at that time that God would enable me to either figure out how to do it or do it for me. And it's a miracle that since that time in 2013, when he passed away, I've never been asked for my resume since. The miracle of him. When I decided to leave, Simon Loudon, who was my last CMO at PepsiCo, he was so supportive to begin what was going to be another inflection point in my career. He gave me the confidence in saying that if anything went wrong at Beats, that I could always come back. And that gave me a home base. But I left and got into business with Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. And that changed my life. We started Beats Music. So many people during that time that were instrumental in my success. Ian Rogers, who's brilliant and supportive and an incredible CEO of Beats Music at the time, and just helped to ground me in what was going to become the future of music streaming. The critical moment, though, for me was the Apple keynote, WWDC in 2016, which put me on the national stage, presenting Apple Music. All right, ladies and gents, I'm so excited to show you the all-new Apple Music. I call him Bela Karolyi as a joke, but Steve Gadikian was the one who helped me understand how to talk about it from an engineer standpoint. Journalists said that after I performed, that I was the coolest person to walk across the Apple stage. Yeah, coolest. Past Steve Jobs. Ariana Huffington, who told me that I could help Travis Kalanick if I could just have lunch with him and give him some pointers about something around marketing. He and I forged a friendship that would set me on a trajectory in tech that I did not anticipate, but became one of the loudest years of my life. I was on dozens of covers, made it onto the New York Times Sunday edition with the headline that said, "Is this the woman who will save Uber?" A marketer saving the company. It was absolutely incredible and a turning point in my career. Finding another home at Endeavor was another turning point. Ari Emanuel, who has been such a loud voice for so many types of talent, but saw me in more ways than just as a business executive. And in June 2020, I got another call that would change my life from Ted Sarandos, now the co-CEO of Netflix, along with Reed Hastings, who asked me to become the chief marketing officer in a time when the business was booming in a way that was transformational for entertainment. And through that work, and along with so much else that I was doing, Forbes recognized me as the most influential CMO in the world, which of course is a distinction that I am very proud of. None of this would matter, not one bit of it would matter, without knowing who I think about every day when I get up, do my work, face the challenges, the struggles, and the triumphs. There's a little girl who watches me every day, whether or not I know she's looking. She's always watching me. And Lael has been that source of inspiration for me, knowing that she's going to grow up in a world that needs to be carved to benefit her, to make sure that she has an easier path than I ever did. And so every day I look at her in return and hope that I am leaving the world a better place for her. So if being inducted into the Marketing Hall of Fame with all of the people who have been so helpful to me makes her feel like she will find her own tribe of people who will support her along her path, then this was all worth it. You love me?
I love you, Mama.
How much?